Okay, my name is Albert Martinson, and today I'm going to be giving you a crash course in chemical safety. Okay, so OSHA says, well, they have all kinds of special stuff. They like to say safety doesn't happen by accident. All right, so I know a lot about chemicals. I'm I guess a wannabe chemist, right? So what we're going to do is discuss all sorts of safety procedures, starting with PPE, which stands for personal protective equipment, such as your plastic gloves and your goggles. Now, did anybody see the major safety violation I made, unknown chemical, at the beginning of this? Anyone catch what I did? I had my gloves and my goggles and my equipment, chemicals, in the same bag. That's a huge violation, because say some goober who would bring all his stuff in the same box like that just goes like this, and just like that, halfway through the day, he's like, hey, boss, I can't see color anymore. I think your site is unsafe. They lock it down, they find out it was just him, boom. Not only did he lose his job, they lost a worker, probably a ton of money, a whole day of productivity. You could sidelight a whole business with chemicals. So, what's so bad about this stuff? Methyl glycol would be one of the major ingredients even. Anything else in there would be, it's a basic oil, which is just a thin lubricant, right? Methyl glycol. So, say you find a bottle just like this, unmarked, no label, right? What do we do first? Don't touch it. That's pretty good. Get your gloves. Don't touch it with your skin. Your gloves are going to be the barrier between you and the chemicals. If it's anything more than a visible leader, say a pop, you're going to want an apron and breathing protection. If it's an unknown chemical. Anything from, chemical can describe anything from, glycerin, high explosive, to nail polish. And there's a whole procedure to clean up and take care of everything. So the first thing we do, we get our PPE on. Anybody know the next step? We inspect the bottle. And there are 4 things you want to inspect on a bottle. The label, if it has one, and we've already determined this is an unmarked chemical. So there's that out of the way. You expect the actual bottle, a good way, a thing to check to see if it's empty. If it's empty, that means it went somewhere, likely on the table. Next thing you inspect is the seal. Is it leaking? Does it make a grinding noise, which means it's child safe, which can determine something. If you're in a kitchen, and you found it in a medical cabinet, it's probably aspirin. With this stuff, we don't know. I mean, it's covered in tape. Some idiot violated the safety of this bottle and put tape on it. So we can't see that it's leaking. We don't know what it is. Mostly what you're going to do is, if you have a chemical disposals bin, toss it out. Other than that, you're going to ask people, because somebody did that, and somebody must have known what it was. So you're in my shop at my house, you say, hey, Albert, what is that bottle? I said, I wouldn't say methyl glycol, I'd say Hobbs 9. This is basic gun cleaner. It's metal cleaner. That's all it does. So, we examined the bottle, we got our PPE on it. Everybody's going to look at you like, well, look at that guy, snooty over there, trying to cause a big scene or something, get a lawsuit, what's up with him? Safety doesn't happen on accident. It's everyone's responsibility to make sure that isn't dangerous to anybody. If you're working indoors, even worse. If it's an enclosed area, even worse. So, we inspected the bottle. Let's say, okay, this happens a lot. You're trying to mow your lawn, right? You ever see your dad have to mix gas and 2-cycle engine oil? Anyone have to mow their lawn like that? What you have to do is you have to get a ratio correct. So you pour 1 ounce for every 40 ounces. It's 40 to 1 for most things. It'll specify on your mower. Say you need a chemical your nail polish bottle is broken. You need something else to store it in, because you don't just throw it away, it's a waste, and it'll melt through the bag. So how do we find out a suitable container for chemicals? I have here one container and two examples. So, and some scissors. What we do is say, all right, well, I might have to store some chemicals or something unsafe. First, see that it is airtight. First of all, these two are off, unless you could tape them, but the glue and the duct tape will affect your chemicals. This, let's see. What can anybody tell me, anything about this bottle that you see right off the end, other than the label? It's got a cap and screw. That's airtight. More airtight than, say, on the ground or in the table. It's metal on the inside. Just about any metal. It's light, so it's safe to assume it's aluminum. That's perfect. Aluminum is non-corrosive unless you're using real heavy stuff. So you could use this to mix your gas. No, you have two plastic containers. How do you tell what's safe and what's not? Well, the difference between this tube I took off my leaf blower and this old mop handle is glass fiber reinforcement. So, what does that mean? That is the strength of, it dictates the structural integrity of the plastic. So, how do we find out which one is reinforced and which one isn't? We can assume that this one came off a tool, it probably is. But who knows? Well, we can take a blade or a knife and take it up against it, right? And you hear that? Me neither. It doesn't make a noise. There's just solid plastic, likely polypropylene, but we don't have another sample to test it against, and I don't see a symbol on here. This, well, when you scratch it, you hear the scrape. That's glass fiber reinforcement. Your little scraper here is cutting in between the grains of the glass fibers and making a noise. So you know that this is, this would be good for like a tool. This is much, much stronger than this, but it's not safe for chemicals, even to be near chemicals. Well, except gas, because it came off of blower, a gas operated blower. Let's see what else we have here. Well, you have no idea what you're dealing with when it comes to a chemical bottle. It could be anything. You don't even know if it's explosives, it could be gas, it could be a bottle of water. But like our friend here, you should be cautious, maybe not paranoid, but cautious on what it is. Because, half the water in California is not drinkable. So. But they ban all plastics. Be safe when you touch chemicals, and put out your cigarette.